No, it's not. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to TFC Open Mic episode 38, Black Friday sale on the go. I'm Lucy, I'm back, and tonight we have on the show, we have Brian Randick, Caleb Barker, Emre Verito, George Argypoulos, TSM, Professor Yana, Dylan Spence, and Tito Gonzalez Escandal. Welcome, everyone.
Hello. This has been What's up? 38. Good evening, everybody. Now it's Liam's turn to try.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to...
I feel like I just done well there. I'm proud of myself.
You did very well.
Thank you.
There's definitely some mouthfuls there.
And tomorrow's show, we're going to do the alphabet.
Okay, so tonight we don't really have a set plan, so we're just going to chat about what we've done during the week.
Talking about tinsel.
Yeah, we put our Christmas tree out, guys. Look.
I think we noticed that.
It's very nice indeed.
We're in the Christmas spirit, so yeah.
Christmas spirits.
Okay. You talk now.
Okay, yeah, so as Lucy said, my wonderful host this evening, and welcome back to the show, Lucy. Lovely to see you.
Okay.
All the old guys that watch just for you are going to be really happy tonight. Anyway, we're going to have a good show, and I guess, yeah, like Lucy said, we don't really have any set topics, but there is like the Black Friday sale, you know, how people are finding the campaign. So there's enough to consume the hour and give us some good stuff to provide feedback on. So firstly, guys, how are you all? Is everyone having a good BP week?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The DLC brought our egos up, so everybody's okay.
Well, let's. I'll go. Well, Lucy, go left to right from the panel and ask the guys how they find the campaign.
Oh, the campaign. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first.
But you're going to ask yourself then.
Yeah. So, Lucy, how do you find the campaign? Okay. So the campaign was really good. I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly, my base done all right. So, and I got the ship thing. So, yeah, it was good. Brian, how did you find the campaign?
The ship thing. You got the ship thing.
I got the ship, yeah.
The ship thing.
The
Ship
ship
thing
thing got
with the
me.
sparky bits and the flyer. Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah. I found it really easy. I looked at Stu's video and I looked at Ren's video and I kind of studied what they did and why they did it. Moved a few turrets around. I used base parts from parts 1 and 2 to refit a couple turrets to help me out better for parts 3 and 4, but really you just need a good guard fleet, tide seekers, any remote targeting mortar you can just put in your channel and have a pretty good defender hull or a tide seeker on your channel, as Ren likes to call it, a bouncer to kind of prevent people from getting in. You kill the stuff, you get the parts, and you get the ship and the tokens. It's really easy. It's great.
Good. Awesome. And what about yourself, Caleb?
I found it quite okay. Pretty much what Brian said. I did the same thing. I watched a couple of videos. I did the first 2, spent my base parts, then did the second 2. Used a Hellwraith for the spots that came in, and I think it was number 6 in the encounters. So those didn't crack my base, and otherwise it was pretty easy. Except it did make me lag out.
Okay. I didn't actually have any lag. I thought it was very smooth. I didn't have any lag at all. But yeah, good. Okay. And Dylan, how did you find it?
Oh, I found it pretty good. Yeah, I struggled at the start, but once I changed a few things around, I mainly put in a couple of tide seekers in and changed it to some mortars, I got through it pretty easily. And yeah, got through all 4. I just missed out on VXP weekend though, which was a bit of a bummer, so I didn't actually get to rank my tide seekers beforehand.
Oh, I missed VXP weekend too. But I have nothing to rank.
Yeah, I was away from the computer.
I didn't miss it. I just couldn't really be bothered for it.
Is it still the same format as it was before? We're hitting those things.
Yeah. It is.
Mostly, but there's a 99 target now where the ships come towards you. It's like the S target in the raids, but the ships come towards you, and they have really powerful weapons. So even if you have a Vanquisher, you'll be sure to get the full experience for kill. The problem is you can't really damage them because they kill you so fast, and their range is longer than yours.
Yeah, it's a
But
suicide.
it does well for defender holes.
Did anyone notice with that 99 and the 114 that you get more VXP from the 99? I sent a hammerhead into both of them, and I saw that I got about 599 when suiciding as opposed to in the 114.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, but probably that was related because in the 99 you were able to kill something, and probably in the 114 you weren't killing anything at all.
I just used to assume 114. Like, I just used to set 2 ships and die, coin, ship, like that. And that worked really well for me. So I think that was everyone's method, really. But they were only limited, weren't they? 24 hours or something? 12 hours? You could hit them for?
36.
Usually 36, isn't it?
So you're saying Liam's the one that taught you to play the game. Coin, hit. Coin, hit.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, George, how did you find the campaign?
I was lazy. I just clicked it and let my base take care of it. I'm not even sure I actually watched it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Most of his focus.
Lazy.
Okay, Mega Ship Man.
Is that what it is? I had mega things to do, so
That's what I just said. You're the mega ship guy, so you would be busy doing the mega ship stuff.
I just autoed it while my mega ship was doing stuff. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and next we have... I'm not saying that because you said that's not his name.
No, say what you think his name is.
Emmy.
Right, we'll go with that.
Emery?
Actually, but that's all right. So let's start with the campaign. Now, first when I seen the rivers coming in, I was like, oh shit. At the end, I'm expecting at least a dozen proto Hellstars coming into my base. And Kickside proved me wrong for once in my life. I can barely believe it, but it happened.
Only once, really?
Yeah, no proto Hellstars. I was expecting something unimaginable to hit my base last time, but no. It was easy peasy. And then my alliance was asking for help to figure out how to beat it, and then, well, I had to figure out some different ways to do it because not everyone had the toys that I was playing with. And, well, it's actually even possible to use your op as a punch bag to stop the last wave, for example.
Yeah. There's a moment in the campaign where, like, everything surged in. Like, you know how you have the... And I thought to myself, I went, oh, shit. I was like, this is going to kill me. But it was really easy. The ships died really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I've done, like, the two... I've done Price Pack 1 and Price Pack 2, and they were free. They've been free so far, so... I don't know if Price Pack 3 and Price Pack 4 holds any hidden dangers, and that's me. I've not changed my guard. I've not changed my base. I've just left it and just like went out and hit something else on the map while it was going on. So pretty. I think it's a giveaway, the campaign.
Actually, in Price Pack 3, Stage 3, I committed the mistake of pulling my guard back to fix it for 2 seconds, and then I forgot to put it back, and I ended up doing that stage without a guard, and I survived it. I lost only like 2 turrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did it not get your base even without a guard?
No, I survived the 3rd stage with those are the mediocre hooks, the black ones. You know, there's like an endless line of them. I survived it without a guard.
See, I found that I got like a level 7 blunderbuss right in the entrance of my channel, and I found that is pretty much just ending them on the spot, you know?
I wasn't even using blunderbuss at the front. I was having basilisks, 2 or 3 of them at the entrance, and I've lost only those.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got a basilisk as well. Yeah, it's good.
Those are not even level 7, just level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. So next, I'm going to do the intro that you always do. It's Mark.
The intro.
Okay. It's Mark, the man, the myth, the legend.
That is TSM.
TSM.
Yeah, thanks for that.
How's campaign?
So the campaign was quite decent, wasn't it? To be honest, I think it was a pleasant surprise. Fortunately, as you know, I was away in the middle of the week, so I didn't get a chance to have a look at it until I got back on Friday. Watched a few videos, same as everybody else, and I noticed that obviously there's 2 sections that you can just use submarines, which is quite good. So I think it's level 3 and level 6. So apart from the Tide Seeker, obviously up front, which can take a huge amount of pounding from those particular type of those targets, and as long as you've got something in the back like the Holox, Citadel or any sort of Pando Mort type, Citadels, or I must admit, I mean, I was a friend when I did it with basically DNXs and that sort of stuff, and a single Tide Seeker at the front as well, and managed to get right through to the end. So the only ones that people were struggling, I think, was level 6, was the Spites, and like I said, if you've got some form of subs, then you're absolutely fine. Just swap your guard out, put the subs in for that particular level, and then swap them back in for level 7 again. I'm pleased that they've put in enough build tokens so that you can actually build one straight off. The only thing I would say is you maybe want to consider building a few blanks, waiting for VXP, because I don't think the weapons that are out there at the moment are the right weapons for this hull. I think there's more to come. That's me.
I gave my Alliance that exact same advice. Everyone was saying to me, what should we build? I've come up with this Earthshaker cannon build, and I said to all of them, I said, look, step off, do not put a weapon on it, because I can almost assure you that you're going to see one.
Yeah, I've done one literally.
That's like an educated guess at kick size behaviour, but
yeah, I had a fast build one basically just so I can go out and have a little see what it drives like and that sort of stuff with a few light weapons on it. But the rest of them, I use the tokens to build 2 third ones on a half build free hulls, and I've just left them to one side and just going to leave them there now till next month really. But lovely little campaign though, I have to say. Most people seem to get it.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't built any of the, like, my base has still been running well as is. I haven't built any of the guard that came out in the last raid. So I'm still running my original guard, and it ended them so quick. Like that Harlock Citadel just absolutely obliterated them. So very straightforward. Okay, let me move on. Or sorry, Lucy.
Peter, how did you find the campaign?
Professor Jan.
Oh, sorry, Professor Yana.
Yes.
I actually found it pretty easy. For the most part, it was just 3 moderately ranked Tide Seekers as my base defense fleet. Couple waves I actually did put in a couple of Nova Storms that I had built. And for the most part, no lag. The only time I did have lag was when we had the Scout Swarm. It was just like dozens and dozens of them. And I think it was like either the 2nd or 3rd iteration of the Royal Raiders, Royal Ravagers, whatever they were, where there were just so many scouts and drones and hulks coming, and there's just like explosions everywhere. It was like a stop-motion film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I managed to get all 4 prize packs done. I'm probably not going to build the Malice. I did it just because, it was easy enough to do. But I'm definitely going to be building the Maxim gun. That is going to be a significant boost to my base defense.
I actually love your enthusiasm.
There's enough. What is the build time on the Maxim?
I don't remember offhand.
I think it was 1 day, 16 hours, something like that. If you have RD30.
That for the Malice?
No, it's,
I got RD10 when with about 6,000 base parts. It was still 4 days build.
Okay. Because it's interesting, they do give away a lot of base parts in the campaign as well. So there's an opportunity.
Probably because they expected you to use them to build the Maxims.
Okay.
Yeah, and getting mine is not a limited one. You can put more than one if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely building a few of them. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
I think, if I can at least get my level 7 turrets finished before December, I'll be a very happy man. I'm close. I'm very close. So, hopefully.
Oh, that's always good.
Okay, then let's move on to the next one.
Tito, how did you find the campaign?
Hi, everybody. PP disappointed. I just finished building my new Guardian fleet, and I was expecting to see something working, and they didn't reach the fleet. They were dying before by the turret. So, but well, I think that must be some sort of Thanksgiving prize from Kickside because found it very easily.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add? Because that was really short. I was expecting you to go into like loads of detail.
See,
No, of course.
He speaks, you know, the tech stuff. You know what I mean? Like how you found stuff, and I wasn't being rude.
No.
Okay, I'll just move on. It's fine. Okay.
Fair enough.
Watal, how did you find the campaign?
I actually played with it. I started out with my ghost crawler and thinking this was going to be a big nasty ordeal. And after the first one, I took the ghost crawler out, changed my base guard fleet around, and then I watched a few videos. And I played with it with rhinos and started out with the Harlock Tideseeker and then ended up with regular Citadels in to finish it off just to see if I could do it without having the upper level tech. And basically took hardly no damage on my base. So I had a good time with it, trying to help the Alliance out.
Awesome. So everyone overall is kind of breezed
Sounds
through
like
it.
everyone's had a good time.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Then let's talk about the Black Friday sale.
Uh-huh.
Well, not that you went to. Yeah, I mean, does anyone, guys, any of the TFC admins, does anyone want to take the floor on this one? How do you feel about the Black Friday sales?
I mean, I like the half gold. I was kind of, disappointed that it was only limited to just the 100 gold purchase. I really like that. The other ones were just regular, same old store stuff in the corner. I didn't see anything special in mine. I did see a couple people have 2-3 day offers. 3-day token offers, and you can only hold one token, so that was a big oops.
I think what I would have liked to have seen was I was kind of hoping to go on, and then instead of like the offers coming up at the side, I was hoping that when you were buying gold, it had like everything half price. I thought that was what
awesome.
Half price, but just like 20% off, or I don't know. So you could get like 1,000 gold for this price, 2,000 gold for this price, not just the 100 gold and some tokens. Like, I think a lot more people would have bought into it if there was a bulk gold for a discounted price. They would have made more money.
I agree.
Definitely.
I will say with the daily specials, they had the 150,000 titanium, and I tried to redeem that, and I had started out with some in my inventory. It said you've got to get rid of some of your inventory, and then I got it down to where I just had like 12 in my inventory. You can't buy it unless you're empty completely.
Ooh. Yeah, I was looking and I saw pictures around of now they have things for Megahull specific things. The Culverin cannon, the Titan mortar, the whatever the heck else. I think I saw
missile strike drone tokens, and I was just like, no, I don't even have a Hyperion. Why are they offering me these?
Yeah, it's really interesting because on the one hand, like they're losing their revenue from the people that don't have a mega, that they could put other things like a half-priced one-day ship build or whatever in there, and we'll buy that. But the other thing too is they're making a lot of changes that make the mega hull easier to get. The R&D 5, et cetera, et cetera. We talked about that on Tuesday, and this is a way for them to kind of cash in on that while also be making a lot of people feel a little better about getting into the mega hull. The first few things they build come a little quicker. Although I did see a one-day build token for Culverin Cannon for 65 gold in a screenshot somewhere, and a day of build time is 48 gold. So if all of these things are correct, then there is a problem somewhere.
I think that's a misprint on Kickstar's part, but they haven't confirmed that yet. I did send a ticket in on that.
Yeah.
To shed some light on the shipbuild token packages that they are selling. I've been offered 2 12-hour shipbuild tokens, and that means that the inventory is actually raised, and that's pretty handy during raid, guys, because right now when we have the raid, it looks like you claim your token, you go, you spend it, and then you go back and claim another one, and you just keep doing this until you run out of them. And with 2 tokens, it's half the pain.
Oh, you actually bought that in good old both then? Like it was 2 for 2 on the inventory screen?
Yeah. Before you had the limit of 1 12-hour shipbuild token, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. That has changed. Yeah, because
now it went up to 2. So
yeah, one of my guys bought the two, and they managed to
if
use
you don't
both.
buy the thing, you're gonna love it when it comes down to raid. You can store them.
Yeah, I got that offer, but I didn't take it. It was two 12-day tokens. I think it was for 36 coins. I passed on it.
So did everyone just get different? Remember how they done this before? Like someone would get a specific offer, but then someone else would do something different. And
they were all different, Lucy.
Yeah.
Different offers, different prices. Nothing's the same for everyone.
I thought the daily store was the same for everyone.
No,
I saw it. One of
they're
the
quite
special deals I saw on my end was 105 coins for $5.
That's all right.
Other people were seeing like 575 coins and a one-day ship build token for like 50 pounds.
Did you get the 575 one, or you just 100 coins?
No, I didn't even bother. I didn't think it was a good deal. So to be honest, if I need to coin, like if I've got a new ship or something, I'll just coin it, and I don't just stock up on gold if there's a deal on. I'll just coin when I need to coin, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I still think there would be more money if they done the whole 1,000 coin at this price. I thought it was pretty shit.
Yeah, a whole standard.
I feel like I haven't needed to coin in BP for a while. I haven't coined it, and this is true. This isn't me exaggerating. All right, I did coin instant build Harlot Revenge. I did do that, which was like 1,000 gold. But other than that, I haven't really needed to coin anything in a long time. I haven't coined anything in a long time. So, like, and that's a positive for me, because the game's at a point where I don't need to coin anything. Even the stuff I win, I can build because they give me tokens to build it. So I find it hard to see why anyone's being complacent about that. But I know that's a little bit one-sided in my vision.
Because you've got all the new shit, whereas people like me
I'll stay
and Brian,
current.
like me and Brian and anyone else that doesn't have that stuff has to constantly either have the option to build slow and be weak constantly, or we have to put a shit ton of money down to try and catch up.
I don't know about being weak. I've got my four PvE types all set up, and I just finished a Conqueror fleet, and I'm working on a Defender fleet. I should have it done maybe by the next raid, I think. So that's all 6 types.
Brian's
within
turning
a year.
into a player.
Brian didn't quit and walk away from it.
I didn't quit. I just get fed up. I just got bored. Not bored, but it was like
Frustrated.
Yeah, like I came online and I'd have to like.
You basically were faced with also having to invest a large amount of money.
And like, to be honest, whenever I have a nice pair of shoes or have a ship in BP.
Well, I know that what I would rather have, and that's of course the nice pair of shoes.
Like, there was just too much for me to do, and I felt like I was too behind, and I gave up. And I kind of came back into the game on Tuesday, Wednesday, and nothing had changed. However, I thought I'd give it a go again and see how, what happens. So I'm not going to put any money in the game. Well, nothing at all now, not even 100 coins. I'm just going to play it with nothing and see what I can get built and what I can get done. Because, and this is my last chance at the game. If they don't change stuff, like the way they release things constantly,
But it has changed. You just haven't been able to see it.
That's such a lie. It's not changed. It's still the exact same.
I disagree.
You will disagree. You always disagree.
You can build revenges and vendettas and retributions. If you stay current in this game in the last 2 months, you would have had a fleet of each for free.
Okay.
It would actually base it.
I'm still working on some of my general purpose fleets, to be honest.
I think there's too much for me to do. I felt maybe if I hadn't quit in November, like for 3 months, and then came back, I would have been fine. Because before that, I was great. And then because I took that time out, I missed out on so much. I've been trying to catch up, and I just gave up really. But I'm back, and I will try very hard to get myself, good again.
But the thing is with BP, and that's like, I'm sure you guys agree, if you miss a week in BP, it feels like a lifetime. Like if I go away for a holiday for like a week and a half and come back, it's like, whoa, what the fuck did I miss here, guys? Like people are fucking driving, things that kill subs on water. Like I went away just before the Tideseeker campaign, and I come back and like everything was different, and everyone's built these things, and 1 week is a lifetime in this game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, sometimes. And the problem is once you start falling behind, you get frustrated, because if you leave for any reason for a couple of weeks, you get deployed or you lose something, or real life happens, and you come back after 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes, depending on those 2 or 3 weeks, what comes out, you can come back and just be absolutely pissed and frustrated because there's so much shit you missed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I wish they would work on a little bit, because that is a very detrimental thing for players in general to come back to if something happens.
They just constantly release new stuff.
Yeah, I really struggle with it. With my work, I have to stop playing the game for 5 weeks. I do 5 weeks at work and then 5 weeks off, so I can miss out on a hell of a lot sometimes, and it becomes a bit of a challenge to catch back up again.
I totally disagree, because I left the game for 17 months, came back on July, and at this point, the only things I don't have is the Zoe Apollo and the Harlock Revenge, because I haven't seen yet the moment to build them, but I have nearly everything that has been released since the Apollos.
Yeah,
I lacked some blueprints from the past, from Sacred Missions, because that's the thing they should fix, or do some rotation in the blueprints, because I have seen the same blueprints. They have been adding a few, but they don't do any rotations like in the past. And I would like, I don't know, to see maybe the super magnetic rails and stuff like that have not been released in a long while. But for the rest, you can catch up easily. I'm getting the tier 5, I got the tokens, and honestly, I don't think I have put more money than the one I use on the raid, 100, 200. And I am nearly at the same point that everybody else.
Right, but I think the thing is when I speak to players that are overwhelmed and frustrated, I think the thing is they keep on looking at the big picture rather than going, okay, I can do this in steps and get to it, and that does require some patience or coin. I mean, sadly, that's what it is. The one thing that KixEye has done that I think is good, and I hope they continue going forward, is taking the raid targets and turning them into our map targets. So that way, if you say you're coming into the game now, we have the hull raid coming up, of the next raid meta hull come out in December. If you can't get it, hire a merc to get it, whatever, you get that hull, you start building it, and you'll be able to do the raid for 4 months, and then whatever the targets are after those 4 months, which is going to be the mining bases and the dubs, I think are going to get replaced with Siege, if it's Siege. So you now have a whole year worth of use out of that one hull. So you can catch up. I mean, the thing is, I think they've put back the PvP aspect with the Conquerors back to the coiners, because that's who, generally historically is coined, were the people that like the base hitting. So that still is coin driven, essentially. You know what I mean?
And that's the game. I see the game moving more and more in that direction. They're pretty much giving you the stuff to play against KixEye with, but those of us that enjoy, mega hulls, smashing other mega hulls, or hitting bases, are always going to be on the end to where they're going to give us more and more and more content. The thing that confuses the lower level players is they think that they need these hulls, like the last one, the Malice or whatever that came out. It's a niche hull. You don't have to have it. You can hit bases with it,
right?
But the newer players need to concentrate on the day-to-day functions of the game, and in my opinion, play freaking Farmville and do your chores, and let the PvP side wait until you build your base up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, that's
This.
I think that's like the way the division is. Like a PvP hole is what, 8, 9 days, 10 days max, and like a PvE hole is like 20 days. I mean, another issue for Lucy as well is reference point.
No, the PV hull, unless you are building the flagship, it's about the same amount. I would say 14 days max. The problem is that if you go for that Harlock Revenge or the Harlock Citadel or the Zoya Apollo, but the rest between 10, 14, no more. And once you are using regularly, and I got the same problem she gets now, and honestly, you focus on the Forsaken Mission 1 and you try to build your raid 1, and in a few cycles you are okay because they have moved those raid targets to some sort of the chores and you are doing them.
But again, you're going right back to what I said. You're using, the PVE hulls, and you're concentrating on those. And the game used to be to where it was PvP constant. And those of us that want to hit bases, again, are going to have to spend coin to keep up.
Are we talking about priorities? I could have swore I just wrote an article about priorities. Sounds familiar.
I kept trying to plug you for the past 5 minutes, but people were saying anything.
George wrote an article.
George wrote an article.
Guys, it's a timely moment just to mention that, because George has not only written an article, but Caleb's just done an excellent little post on Kixie Forum as well.
Yes.
Both of them are saying very similar things. Both of them are saying very similar things, and both of them are basically saying get your foundation sorted out first, and the foundation in this game is FM.
The FM, absolutely.
If you don't sort out your FM, you're not gonna progress.
And that's the whole thing. I don't want the lower players to be confused. If you can keep up with the FMs and the PVE stuff, the other will come.
Well, let me also add, because this actually literally just happened in the game. I had someone that wanted to test their new baser fleet, and they had built 5 of the new Malice hulls. And if you're just starting to get into the PvP aspect, if you're just starting to get into basers and stuff, Kixeye is developing this stuff to not be a 5 hull click the back of the base thing anymore. You've got to have a plan when you go into a base. You got to break down the base. It's going to be strategy. It's going to be which hulls you want to bring in. It's not going to be 5 of the same thing, I don't think, for a good while, not for the foreseeable future.
So
don't try and do it with 5, because this guy, 5 of them brand new, brought him in. They didn't even make it to the first corner. It's not a hull that is designed to stand on its own, and I think that's how all of them are. That none of them are made to stand on their own. They're more made to mix and match and have something to hit your base with.
And that's a great part of the game, though, that they're putting it together as a puzzle for the end players, the high end players.
Yeah,
to where when you go and hit a 105 base or something, you can look at that, peek it, and figure out, okay, got all this here, and then go in and try to figure out what fleet you need to put together to hit it.
I just don't want anyone building like 5, blanks and then being pissed off because they spent all this time building 5 and you only really needed 1 or 2.
That's a bit like I was going to say Punishers. I've got a build for Punishers that basically you just need 4 Punishers. They don't even need any armor on them, and they can do a 109, and then it's a 6.5 hour fix, and just go and do another one. 6.5 hour fix, you do another one, and obviously pressure. Go get something really small. 102. It'll do 102 easy for about 20 minutes fix, and then you just reset and do it again, and you'll do it easy just with 4 Punishers. It doesn't take a great deal of special equipment on that.
With regard to you guys saying that you only need a few of the ships, I've noticed that you'll see people are running around at the moment with 2 Vendettas. And if you look at the TLC when it came out, or the second time it's come out, or I think it's the most recent one actually, it came out with enough build tokens to build almost 2 of them. And yes. So they seem to be giving you the enough build tokens to build how many you inadvertently should have, as if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're figuring out that the coin sales are driven by people that are active in the game and engaged. And one of the ways to engage players is to have them actually battle each other. That's what made the game great initially. So hopefully, we might be seeing a slow turnaround to it. But I also want to make sure that people don't get trapped into thinking that you got to have 5 and you got to do this and you got to do that. Start with your FM, cycle into the raids. After the FM and after the raids, then start worrying about PvP.
Yeah, the perfect example I think of this is the Apollos. If at time equals 1 month, you won the Apollo. By the next month, you'll probably have one completely built, maybe two, and that one would be enough to do the next raid if you led some rhinos with it. And then you'll have 3 done. And if you put some phalanx on each of them and some blades and this and that, like those 3 Apollos, I've only ever had 3. I've been able to do well in every raid of that type. I can auto the 91s, which are now the continuation of those targets for gantry fragments. I can do all the Legion of Stall Forces. I can do everything that I ever needed off of 6 weeks of build time. And that's one of the 4 main parts of the game done. 6 weeks. That's all it takes.
And I finally got it down to where I can do the Draconian uranium targets, the 70 whatever they are, for free with Apollos.
The 91s. Oh, the 75s, you mean?
Right, the 75s. I finally got it down to where I can do those free with Apollos.
That's right.
That took you long enough.
Yeah, I've just been.
Darren, I put a video up doing it with one of them.
75s with Hellwrights. Send them in, I can do like 3 or 4 that fills me up, and I just send them home to repair.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. I've been getting a little lazy. So I just put them on auto and just send them back. Oh, 100,000. Hey.
Lazy was
How
me.
much
George is cackling over there in the corner. His influence is spreading.
I love auto and stuff. I'm sorry. What you guys using just Hellrace?
George,
you guys sending
you were
in?
picking on me, George, about taking so long to learn how to do them with Apollos. I typically play this game at work, and if I can't build my fleet where I can auto stuff,
Here's an excuse. I don't want excuses.
Bite me.
George, if you are doing things on auto, why you blame on him?
Because I didn't say I wasn't a hypocrite, and I love giving him crap. So fits perfectly.
Oh, fair enough.
I am honest. I will say that. There is that at least. But yeah, I mean, no, I just there's a lot coming with the way that they're doing stuff, and I'm actually kind of liking the fact that they are setting this up to the point where stuff's being used from one thing to the next. And because I'll tell you what, I remember building Hellstrikes and being really, really pissed off at how short they lived.
I got a message from the YouTube chat. It says, "Shut up, George. You brag too much."
Take a shit guy, that's why.
All right, guys, I've got a question for you, and I'm gonna give you my answer for it for start. So if someone starts the game right now and tries to climb up the ladder and needs to get the FM done all the way to tier 5, how are you going to approach that with the least build time and the most accessible tech? I've got a mate in my alliance who was in that situation, and well, it's not the lowest tech solution, I must admit, but we ended up building a Punisher with pack cannons and 2 D110 on it, and it can take out every corner of 109, and one Punisher is capable of doing over 100 million points if it's driven well. It takes 2 minutes to charge up the cannons every time, but at least tier 5 is doable, and it's 18 days to build one.
I would say to anyone that looking to, let's say for example, someone's looking to hit FMs or hit a certain aspect of the game, especially for a new player, go to the Foundry, because believe it or not, we slag it. There is issues with it, but it is actually a way to start yourself off at the bottom of a ladder and work your way up it.
Yeah, but it's very slow, Liam, because I think that for the Citadels you need 136, likely for a Crusader or one of those Centurions to do mines or stuff like that. So if you don't have the tech to do it, nearly each time you hit, you take 1 2 hours. So you're talking about months before you can finish something.
Well, the Berserkers are 80s, our weekly target FM 80s, and I mean if you have help, you can have those prepped down to next to nothing and go in and grab as many fragments like on these weekends as you can. But you said that he had the Punisher. I mean, my old Arbalest Punisher fleet can do 109s with a decent tank. I think nowadays the biggest thing on the FM is a tank, and I hate to say it, the Tideseeker campaign gave everybody a fantastic tank for a really reasonable price. I mean, it was not a very hard TLC to complete for the first level. I mean, you might not have the tech to make it, an outrageously great tank, but you also have 3 days to complete the FM. And, if you don't have that, you can go to the Foundry and try and get up to Berserkers. Berserkers do good. Nova Storms do well. I have a guy in my alliance that does it with Nova Storms. There are options. I mean, the thing is which way do you go first? And that's kind of tough to decide, not having, not trying to go through it myself to how to get there. You know what I mean? You need something that can at least finish off the 80. Be that, I don't know if Seagulls will do it or what, but I mean, if you get into an alliance and get some help and get the 80s prepped and get that, once you get that and some mortars, I'm hoping I'm hoping that Kixeye starts making some tech very available to help in this kind of instance. Like I would love to see certain mortars come out that people can get. Not not the Judgment and the Coax, but some of the other ones that they can get, like Chaos and Pandemonium.
For the seeding.
Yeah, Searing Barrage.
For those seedings.
Some of those.
About this topic,
the Assault Mortar X.
The what?
What about the Assault X mortar?
For a siege target? I mean, for a Garrus target? I don't know that I would go with that.
Ironically, the Chaos Mortar has such low explosive damage and such high everything else that they have high resistance to that I kind of want to go with Searing Barrage. I like Searing Barrage. They're fun.
I don't care which one it is.
If you want to help someone out, all you have to do is just to make that person to go into that FM target first, and then you enter and you can kill the whole thing. No prepping required. He's going to get the fragments. The one who enters first gets the fragments.
That does still work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It does still work because I did that for a few months before I could get my own Punishers to do the
that would be perfect.
Liam, you there, mate?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So you see the screen I've got up? If you can just pin that for a second, mate.
There it is. Yeah, that's
so
Mark's.
that's the build that one of my lads is using. There's no armor at all on it, nothing, and it's reasonable tech. I'm not saying it's like the lowest tech, I have to say, but it's got reasonable items on there, and you can obviously change if you want the heavy plate. You can probably put AA3 probably on there, but that fleet there will do a 109. Just those 4 ships there, with it tends to put on. Let's have a quick look. Which one is it? It's this one here. Yeah, it's the Steelheads. Tends to put that crew on there because they're easy to roll, and that comes out normally with 3/4 to sort of like 4/5 dead on a 109. That
I used to have
I used to have
a very similar build with the 107s.
Maybe the frontline countermeasures the most complicated if they are not doing tier 4 yet. But if they don't have the air shakers, I would suggest they put 4 Arbalest if they have.
I've seen that, but the extra armor that the Earthshaker gives you is quite decent as well. But there are other options.
No, I mean, because I think that those air shakers were released again on August, but if they have not been able to get them, maybe it's not one thing that they may have in the stock. The blueprints they may be having at the moment.
But I mean, we all know it's quite a long build hole. But if people have got them and been messing around with them, that sort of stuff, this is definitely a build that you may want to look at in the future as well. Because obviously we're going back into this next format of raid that this ship should do reasonably well as well in the next months. Well, after December raid, then the January raid comes out. These sort of hulls should do reasonable. I'm not saying going to do brilliantly, but they'll start you off at least. So if you don't have Gales, then obviously you're going to have to put a C on and that sort of stuff instead. There are obviously other things you can come around with. to help out. I think phalanx is quite important. If you haven't got phalanx 4, then obviously try for the 3, but it's not going to knock out as much as you'd hope to. And then if you are really concerned that you've only got and you have to change that then to put a level 3 on instead, then I would probably go up here and I would probably then stick on some of the level 1 missile stuff if you've got it, because you could always do that. It does make it, I think each plate there is like 3 minutes repair duration, so it's not horrendous. And obviously it'll up a little bit on your missile protection there. But that's about it basically. So just thought I'd show you that. So that's working for one of my guys, and basically does 2 hits one day, and then 1 hit the next day, and then obviously resets himself, does a 2nd hit the next day, and then the 3rd day he basically does 2 more hits, and that's his done. His FM's finished.
Yeah, and get in mind that probably till the end of August we are going to see the same format of FM. So it's not something that you are going to build now, and in 2 months you are going to just put to covering dust in your ship. You are going to use this ship for a while. Yeah,
I think so too. Anyway, there you go. I thought so. You can take it off screen share now.
Hi.
Did you unmute then as I was speaking?
Yeah, sorry. I already took you off screen. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, super.
Sorry.
We're good.
Okay.
Okay,
So, moving on. What does everyone talk about? Does anyone else want to cover a subject at all? Anyone get any issues or something they want to talk further into? Or?
Yeah, I have noticed in the sector I'm in, 106, that there are a lot of people kvetching about there being, damaged 102s and 109s. I kind of understand they probably want to go in, hit the undamaged ones, and blitz them. But I look at it as a bonus to me because, I can go in, I can clear out the damaged ones. I'm getting the fragments and such that I need to upgrade the ships that I want to build next. So it's like I'm getting the leftover points. I'm getting the fragments. It's like, you don't like seeing damaged targets found? Go clean them up. They'll respawn.
Yeah, they respawn, and you get the fragment instead of them. But actually, if they are just interested in the points, they are getting 18 millions while you are just getting 30. And you're getting more damage than they do, because they probably get 5 minutes of damage.
Yeah, and I already got all my fragments months ago, so it's not. There's no incentive for me to clean them up. Although I do when I have to test. Like today, I cleaned 4 of them so I could have them all spawn right after one another, so I can do them. But it took away from what I wanted to do, which was do some specific testing that needed full FM targets. I think they have to tweak where the points are in those, honestly.
I've done my 2nd round of FM this week with a bullseye crew, and I was just prepping those leftover 109s for my teammate who needed fragments, and I ended up doing 400 million with that one crew. So it is not really a disadvantage to finish them off. And he managed to get to R1 with the Citadel, thanks to me.
So I'm actually going to tap Darren now because we actually had been discussing some stuff with the Megas. Does anybody want to talk about the Megas, or is it just me and him then?
Oh, I got a lot of things to talk about.
Oh, it's the Mega guys.
Shoot, guys. Who wants to go first?
Well, where should we start?
I'm sorry. I had a lag there. I missed what you said. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what he just said. He said, let's move into Megas. I'll tell you one thing. I've actually done the Mega Ship campaign this week, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Nice. I'm a bad influence.
Yes, you are.
I've finished my base. The problem is I've upgraded everything in my base. There's nothing left now. All my turrets are level 7. All my buildings are maxed out. All my warehouses are maxed out.
Coiner.
So I've got... Well, no, because I did the campaign again that obviously a while back that gave you obviously the build tokens to get your turrets up when they did the that one there. So I managed to race ahead with getting my turrets sorted out, and I've been using loads of the build tokens for the last 2.5 months on turrets. And I finished the last one this week, so I've got nothing left in my base to upgrade. And I don't really want any more ships at the moment because I've got what I've got works. So I thought, right, I haven't spent them. As you know, I can drive subs. So for the last 2 raids, I've spent nothing on raiding at all. So I thought, well, I'll invest in something different. So I actually did invest in the mega ship, and I had a bit of fun this week. And I'm really chuffed my quadcopters in as well. I was really chuffed with that. So I thought I'd better go and get it.
I put the new quadcopters on mine. I have them built, and I tested them out from Thanksgiving Day on until today, and they're okay. They apparently need to be upgraded some. The mission again is one of those that if you don't have the tech that you get out of the next level, it's really tough to beat it. I've seen a few people that have gone to the one before the last and done it with just the cannons and the rockets, but if you don't have the drones on and you don't have them really upgraded, then you're gonna have a hard time in the last part of the campaign.
Yeah, I've spotted a few like that.
Can you? How many drone modules do you need to get the drone bridge? Do you need 2 of them?
To get the drone bridge, you can do it with 1.
Really?
Probably 1 is enough, but I had 2.
I had 2 on mine.
I actually ended up failing with the last round of the campaign this morning, and I figured out the hard way how bad it is when you fail.
The trick to the last 2 parts of the campaign is to take your culverin rockets and turn them sideways.
Turn 90 degrees. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I realized that one when everything died, but that was too late. And then I got every turret fixing in 4 hours, and the bridges fixing in 24 hours. So I got 20 hours to spare or to coin. And I didn't want to coin it, so I was like, okay, maybe I should utilize the 20 hours and put something on one of the modules or something. And what can I do? I can push more information. That's the only button there until the bridge is fixing.
I'll tell you what I thought was the funniest thing was obviously I wasn't in for Tuesday night show, but I was listening and that sort of stuff, and I rewatched it again when I got back. The funniest thing I thought was Stu, and I was howling to myself when I was listening to him going about, man, I'm ready, I'm good to go. And they went, hang on a minute, I need Hyperion fragments. Why do I need 120 Hyperion fragments? And,
Awesome.
why didn't I know about that? And it's just so many things. He was going, I was like, man, that's because every second you keep turning off,
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I'm going to do this now. And I go, oh, but I can't do this now. And I was just laughing my head off.
Every time I was like, wait, don't you run a page of like...
yeah, I was crying. I was laughing. I was like, hey, mate, you just made yourself look about two inches tall. Bless him.
That was funny though. No, Stuart's good. He's a good guy.
That was good. It was good because it was just the reality of it when someone's not into it and all of a sudden like, oh, I'll take an interest in it. All of a sudden went, oh, hang on, this is a bit more complex than I thought.
Yeah, I got some stuff to do.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
I actually wanted to see if what issues people have had, because I know that they've been working on trying to get rid of some of the bugs heavily. So I didn't know if there was anything that has been new that's popped up. I mean, I know I finally have built enough stuff that I have things in inventory, and I'm like, I don't know how to get it out of inventory and put it back on the ship. So,
well, that's what I was about to bring up exactly. There's been some glitches over the past few days in the game. I've got one of my alliance members that built the Hyperion, and he doesn't have all his weapons on, so I sent a support fleet out to help him to get his parts that he needs. There was an issue to where you couldn't engage in battle. There was also an issue, a glitch to where you couldn't reposition, because my mega hull, I've set it up on defense in the evenings, when I'm done playing with it. But there was a glitch to where every time you tried to relocate something, it sent you to an SOS screen.
SOS, yeah. Well, I thought that was only when there was something damaged on the mega hull.
I kept testing that and I actually coined the repair on it. It would not let us do it.
Until the time ran out of the regular slow repair. I bet you that's what it is. Is that something's damaged, and that's where the glitch is, and it won't fix until the slow repair time, until that timer finishes. That's interesting. Huh.
And that's a hint for me to give to people that's got the Hyperions. If you get it out and you play with it, take it home and turn it backwards. Everybody's going to attack you from the rear, so turn everything you can to the rear and put your least important parts to the front while it's hidden under the base or whatever, and that's going to give you a great advantage, you know, to change it around and have it in defense and offense mode.
And turn your cannons sideways instead of pointing straight forward. That way they'll fire quicker.
Right. Move your cannons to the back. You know, things that'll help you in any way. Just.
I've got two things to mention about cannons. I don't know if you guys ever realized it, but it is pretty goddamn annoying for me all the time. Number one, you enter into a battle, your enemy has cannons on the ship, no matter how many they have. 1 or 10, doesn't matter. First thing the battle happens is that all of those cannons facing forward or sideways or somewhere, it doesn't matter. All those cannons are firing at your ship, your flagship, no matter what.
I can actually interject something on here.
That actually is a known, my problem.
That one is a known problem. That's actually being looked at. That was actually
the magic bullet.
Magic bullet. Oh, yeah. Yes. Working on that this week. I don't know if they're gonna have a fix out by Tuesday or not, but that is definitely something they've been working on. I know that one for a fact because I've been bitching like hell about it.
But that magic bullet is actually more than just this. If you have ever tried to, instead of going against the mega ship, rather just going around trying to attract those bullets, because distance gives travel time to the bullets and they are actually hitting the water behind you. Now, if you try to do that and accidentally you run out of range, you got another magic bullet suddenly hitting the mega ship.
Wait, what?
You, instead of at the beginning of battle going towards the target ship, you try to just run around and keep those turrets firing busy at around maximum range. And the bullets are hitting the water behind you because of the distance and the travel time.
Right.
Now, if you accidentally manage to go out of that 700 range and you are out of range and the turrets will decide to, instead of trying to hit you, go back to hitting the mega ship, all of a sudden they are going to shoot their next bullet towards the mega ship, no matter which direction they are actually facing.
So there's a second magic bullet that goes towards the mega.
Huh.
That's interesting.
And I will tell you this, the drone module, as you upgrade it, those are bad. I finally got hit today by a level 300 fleet, and I wish I remembered his name, but him and I had a 30-minute long conversation about mega hulls, and those drones are unbelievable. And the drones will shoot down the new modules, your anti-modules. The drones will shoot down those new modules. So that's one thing I don't like about it.
No, missiles can. I mean, that's one of the things that we discussed the other day. You're very limited in what you can shoot them down with, but missiles are definitely one of the things that you can shoot down modules with.
Okay.
Well, that's the bad thing, though. It gives you the drones automatically come in, and you've got that defensive part there on your hull that you spent, all those resources to build, and then the drone comes up and shoots it down.
Well, the drones. Well, look, and I think this is one of the things that keeps on catching them when they put stuff out like this. It is meant for player versus player in alliances. The assumption is that your alliance mates are in there fighting with you, and if there's ships in there, I'm pretty sure the drones go after the ships, not the mega first. So they won't be going after your antis if you're in an actual full battle 5-on-5. You know what I mean?
I'm kind
that's what it is.
of iffy on that because I've noticed that the drones, which are considered ships, the drones will pass your drones and attack your ship.
I don't think. Well, yeah, but the drones are drones. They're not really a ship. It's drones from the mega, so they're going to ignore other megas' drones. So the first thing they're going to go after is the engine, right?
And we just lost 99% of the audience.
We can drop drones if you. I mean, we can drop megas if you guys want. I'm sorry. I just know that there's been a lot of people that been asking questions and stuff. So.
Well, we can talk about this in the after show.
Yeah. I can do that.
Guys, that's timely. Liam, we're on the hour, mate.
Hey,
Sorry,
look at that.
I dozed off when it was mega technical there. But
Oh, here we go.
See, I'm good for something.
Yeah.
I know there is a lot of people that are into the mega holes, so I can't believe Mark's been turned. It's almost.
To be honest, mate, I was trying to do it for the team, you know, because I thought to myself, if we're going to actually break into this area, then I ought to get experienced in it. So I thought I'll take the plunge and I'll do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds, yeah, we'll go with that one.
And you took the plunge, is that what you said?
He took it for the team.
Well, I do like a team player. So. No, guys. Well, listen, great show, and thanks all for coming out. I'm gonna end the show on time tonight because Lucy, aka chef, sandwich maker, and host, is in the kitchen making sandwiches right now. So
she's gonna come out here and kick you square in the nuts.
Liam,
she is
making the sandwiches.
I see her moving.
Choosing what she wants you to make the sandwich with.
And she told me it's going to be served at 11. So listen, guys, we will see you on Tuesday's show, and I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you then. And thanks everyone for coming out tonight. It was a great show. So thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.